Hello, good morning. Happy birthday, June 20 babies. We're going to connect here and see what message is coming up for the next 24 hours. From whenever you happen to see this video, I am setting the intention for the 20th and posting it in time for the 20th. But depending on where you live in the world, the 20th may have already come and gone. It may be in a different time zone, or you may just happen to see this a few weeks from now or months from now. So we're setting the intention here for whenever you're meant to see it, and a message for the next 24 hours. Alrighty, my dears, let's get right on into it here. And so we're going to move you all just a little bit closer. It's so funny. I chose to use this deck this week because the energy has felt really intense to me. And so I've always kind of see this deck as like just kind of like a lighthearted or whimsical deck. And yet we have such major cards coming up. I wrapped up the weekly forecasts, and there were a lot of big energies coming in for the zodiac signs. So today we have a big energy coming in, and we have the Judgment card. So this is a major arcana card. Major arcana cards are going to come up anytime that we're at a really significant new chapter in our life, a defining moment, and the things that we're experiencing are directly connected to things we came here to accomplish, to succeed at, to learn, to grow. So major arcana card energy is going to last for a while, even though I'm setting the intention for like a 24-hour, period. Things happening within the next 24 hours are putting things in motion. So the Judgment card is about making a decision, okay? It can be answering a calling, like feeling pulled or called or guided into a direction. But in this case, the feeling and the vibe that I'm getting from the Judgment card here, my dears, is that you might be making a decision that is like a life altering decision, and you're not hesitant, but it's definitely a decision that you're not rushing into and that you're not taking lightly. But I feel for a lot of you, some door has opened, or very unexpectedly you're just going about your way, and then very unexpectedly all of a sudden there's this fork in the road that you didn't see coming. And so I feel like it's a decision coming in, like, am I going left, am I going right? So you might feel as though um you had a different plan, and now something is opening up and you're like, do I go this way, do I stick with the plan? It's going to be different for different ones of you, so I can't give a general statement. I can't sit here and say yes, stay and do things the way you're currently doing, or no, 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 change course, go in this new direction. And you guys know, those of you who get private readings from me, a lot of you I've been reading for a couple of years, a few years now. And even before that, some of you who are on the channel, I've been reading for you before I was even on YouTube. And so you all know that I will never, ever, ever tell anybody what they should or shouldn't do. I won't make a decision for you. And so I can't tell you what to do in this case, other than to say that there's a big decision here that you're being approached with. I do feel here um really strong Archangel Gabriel vibes. And if you know anything about Archangel Gabriel is the messenger angel. He's the angel that was said to come to Mary and tell her about Jesus going to be born. He's the angel that's said to have come to Muhammad and given him, you know, the writings. And so he's seen as someone who comes in and delivers news. Okay, like delivers news, delivers messages. So some of you may be receiving downloads at this time. You may be receiving messages at this time, guiding you in a certain direction. I know that for me, um, this is this is something that uh, took some time, but I know for me, if I have a big decision coming up, and I'll just sit and I'll pray over it and I'll meditate and I'll just wait. And so one of the things that sometimes I'll feel is I'll feel like a certain energy in my shoulders, almost like as if almost as if like there's hands that just kind of like just very gently push down on my shoulders. And so to me, when I feel that energy in my shoulders, it's like that's my confirmation, like, okay, you're gonna do this, like you're gonna take these steps, you're gonna accept this opportunity. So some of you might have something like that already, and you may be receiving that confirmation. Some of you might be developing something at this time that's gonna be your little sign or your little way of like confirmation in the future when you're praying or meditating over a decision where you're like, okay, this is the direction I'm gonna go in, this is the way that I'm gonna go. Or you may be receiving messages in other ways, in other ways where like you're getting the guidance or you're getting confirmation. But I do feel here there's a sense of like being guided, being divinely guided. So those of you, and the reason why I feel this divinely guided energy, those of you who are really struggling with making the decision, maybe struggling with making the decision because there's a lot of fear. Like there's just like a lot of fear, like what if I'm making the wrong choice? So in this way I feel like there's a lot of divine guidance. Your angels and guides are stepping in. They are giving you reassurance. They are guiding you. For whatever reason, I feel like a lot of the fear here, more than making the wrong decision, I feel like a lot of, I keep seeing 3 of swords in my mind, like the 3 of swords card. So I feel like there's just this fear of like, what if I get my heart broken? What if I get my heart ripped out? And so some of you are not uh, opening up to the opportunity because there's like this fear of like, I'm going to be disappointed or I'm going to have my heart broken. And so I feel like for those of you that are in that situation, there may be a lot of reassurance coming in, a lot of messages, a lot of signs. To have faith, to trust that your heart is being protected, that you can move forward in this direction. Um, and I don't know why, but for some reason I'm getting the feeling and the vibe here that this is a direction that is aligning you with family. Family, soul family. It's kind of like it's something that is taking away the loneliness, right? But you're afraid to embrace it or accept it because you're lonely. It's like this vicious cycle. Like you don't want to do it cuz you're lonely. And you just want to be left alone cuz you're feeling lonely, but there's some kind of direction here that is bringing you into the light, like bringing you, and when I say into the light, I mean in the sense of like being seen, being noticed, being discovered, being appreciated, being accepted, being embraced. And it feels to me in some way where this decision, regardless of whether or not it's going to come in with a geographical move, I feel it's almost like like a little personal symbolic rapture for a lot of you, almost as if spirit came in and picked you up and spun you around and dropped you off somewhere else. So I definitely feel there's a sense or a feeling of breaking out of your current circle and finding yourself in a very short period of time surrounded by a whole new bunch of people, like a whole new group of people, and like where did all these people come from? But it's like a shift. It's like you're being directed, you're being brought into a new circle or into a new place. For some of you this could also be quite physically, geographically moving, but for other ones of you it could be leaving one circle for a new circle, which is aligning you with soul family and more supportive or meaningful connections. I feel here that there's a lot happening in the heart chakra. So I would just say it's a really good idea to be gentle with yourself at this time, not to push yourself too hard. Some of you may have bursts of anxiety, and sometimes that happens while we're clearing or while we're ascending. So if that's happening, just try to ground yourself, take deep breaths, breathe through it. But know and understand that this is a really big shift. Now, you guys know that in the card of the day, I just picked one card, but I know this is a big energy. So I feel like I want to pull clarifiers here. Please show us clarifier 1. Please show us clarifier 1. There's clarifier 1. Please show us clarifier 2. There's clarifier 2. Clarifier 3. Clarifier 3. Clarifier 3, please. Clarifier 3. Okay. So clarifier 1. Ooh, Queen of Swords. Clarifier 2, the Hanged Man. Clarifier 3, the Hermit. So some of you are afraid of rejection. You're afraid of getting shot down or shut down. Some of you also have experienced lack of compassion from other people that you've dealt with. And so, like, there's this fear of not being accepted or not being embraced or being shut down or being silenced, which is bringing you into the energy of inaction, of like being paused, like nothing is happening. You're just kind of in this limbo. And the Hanged Man is a major arcana card that tells us that the universe may be putting us on a cosmic timeout so that we can see the truth of the situation and we can see the things that we've been missing. So in other words, some of you are avoiding this opportunity, and so the Hanged Man may be coming in where the universe is like, okay, well, then we're just going to stop everything for a little bit. We're just going to time out everything for a little bit so that you can think about this. So there may be a little bit of a stall in other opportunities or other areas, because Spirit wants you to really think, before you make this decision or before you pass up this opportunity or this situation. And I'm not going to say that you don't have a choice in the matter, but I do feel like you're being directed, like strongly directed in this direction. So there could be negative ego coming in that's telling you that you're not good enough or you're not going to be embraced or you're not going to succeed. But I feel like your angels and guides are helping you to see ways in which like this is a good thing and to trust it, to embrace it, to move forward. We also have the Hermit here. So I pulled clarifiers, and the majority of these cards are major arcana. We only have one card that's not major arcana. So all these major arcana cards coming in back to back tell me really, really big, massive changes in a very short period of time. The Hermit card could be Virgo energy. So some of you could be dealing with a Virgo sun, moon, rising, or Venus. If you have a Virgo placement, there could be big changes or shifts happening for you or decisions you're having to make in those houses or that area of your life. The Hermit is also very much a spiritual teacher. Okay? So some of you may be feeling very pulled or very called or very guided towards someone whom you're seeing as a spiritual teacher or somebody whom you feel like is going to kind of like show you the way out, show you the way out. I don't know why Spirit is showing me the Pied Piper. I don't want to turn this into like an hour-long reading. Why am I seeing the Pied Piper? Clarifier, please. Clarifier, please. Justice. Another major arcana card. Wow, we're coming into big energies, guys. It is the age of Aquarius after all. We are coming into a new vibration, a new frequency. We're ascending all these major arcana energies, big energies. Could be Libra, sun, moon, rising, or Venus energy. However, the feeling, and one more thing with this deck, I noticed that for whatever reason they have the numbers switched on the strength card and on the justice card. So I don't know if this is like a bootleg knockoff deck that came to me from the internet, or if if it's like a counterfeit deck or what, but I'm just letting you know, justice should be 11, it shouldn't be 8. 8 is the strength card, but there's that mistake there. The Justice card can also be about balancing the head and the heart as you're making this decision, right? You're scared that you're going to get hurt because you're like, every time I listen to my heart, I get burned. Every time I listen to my head, I'm absolutely miserable. And the Justice card is about bringing the head and the heart in alignment. You're going to listen to your heart, you're going to follow your heart, but you're going to bring logic into it. And you're going to ask yourself, what are steps that I can take to set myself up to succeed? Justice card could also be contracts and agreements, commitments that we might be coming into. I just heard prenup. Maybe some of you might be moving forward in a relationship or marriage. And maybe some of you are being asked to sign a prenup, and you might be like offended by it. I've said this in the past and I cannot believe the backlash I got for it. I don't care. I'm going to say it again because I'm entitled to my opinion. My whole thing is like, look, because people get upset. They're like, well, I'm never going to sign a prenup because, the person should trust me. And if they're asking me to sign a prenup, that means they don't trust me. And my whole thing is like, look, if you have nothing to hide, and if you're with the person for the right reasons, then it shouldn't matter. Just sign the piece of paper, sign the prenup and be done with it, right? If your whole thing is like, well, you should trust me, you shouldn't ask me to do that, you should trust me, you should know I have the right intentions, okay, then sign the paper. To me, it's not a big deal at all, unless there may be ulterior motives. And if that is the case, then work that into the prenup. Put in whatever you feel you need, like, to get yours, and negotiate that and have that on paper going in. But I just feel, or it could be a contract. Some of you might be offered some kind of a contract. Maybe it's not a prenup. Maybe it's like somebody's wanting you to do business with them, or somebody's wanting you to be a spokesperson, or maybe some of you are landing like a radio show or a TV show or something, and you're being presented with a contract. You can negotiate. If you have fears, if you have concerns, those are things that you can bring into this agreement here, right? And you can follow your heart and jump in, but you can bring in your head and say, okay, well, how can I set myself to succeed? How can I set myself up that I can move forward in this situation in a way in which I feel protected? Okay, but there could be a contract coming in for some of you. Some of you a very literal contract, some of you a spiritual or soul contract, right? But again, here there's a sense of like, this is something that you're feeling called towards or guided towards. Now, I did pull this around the Pied Piper. I know, I know that this could be something in terms of maybe it's a karmic debt. Maybe some of you are coming in and you're fulfilling a karmic debt, and you're feeling like hypnotized. Like, I wouldn't normally go in this direction. I wouldn't normally do this thing, but you're being like hypnotized. You feel almost as if you're hypnotized and you're being pulled in this direction. And that can be scary. But again, negotiate, communicate. And it could be that you have a contract with someone to go in this direction that you typically wouldn't go in. There could be some kind of energetic or karmic contract here. Now, when I say karmic contract, that does not mean a life of suffering. Please understand that. There's positive karma, there's negative karma. When I say karmic, I don't necessarily mean karmic in a way where it's like something that's ripping out your heart. In fact, the message came in that your heart is protected in the situation. I just feel there's a lot of like, insecurity around it that might be unnecessary insecurity, right? You can think of how you can set yourself up to have protection and how to succeed. But all these major arcana cards make me feel like this is happening, whether you're fighting it or whatever. It just feels to me like this is happening. This is a massive shift. You may want to check out the weekly forecasts if you haven't already. Those are linked in the description of this video. Love readings for June are linked in the description of this video. July love readings will be up over the next few days. If you want a private reading with me, there's a link in the description that will take you to calendly.com/amethystangelite, and you can schedule a private reading with me there. I just want to say thank you guys. A lot of you have been sending so much love my way, and it's very humbling. I can, I'm not going to start crying. I can't express how humbling it is and how much I appreciate it. I'm so glad that a lot of you are feeling helped in the way that you've expressed to me. And I just want you guys to know I know what you're going through. I've been there, and I just appreciate you all. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for the support. And we're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna keep showing up here with the messages. So thank you for receiving, my dears. Have a wonderful day. Be well.